Aloha and welcome to A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 31. Today is a very powerful lesson, especially if you grew up like me with a victim mentality, that the world is out there doing something to you and there's not much you can do to change that or to escape that. But today is our escape from that whole idea of victimhood. Today's idea is I am not a victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Hallelujah. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. Remember yesterday we were talking about there's no difference. When we were talking about God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And we're introduced to this idea that the world outside is a projection of the world inside our mind. And we're beginning to change the way we project. Instead of projecting what we don't want outside of us, we are looking inside to see God in our own minds and joining with that. And then that's what gets projected. So for that reason, we don't have to be a victim of the world that we see. So in applying the idea, we will use a form of practice which will be used more and more with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects. One in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. So one, we're going to kind of keep the idea sustained in our mind throughout the day. And then the other is we're going to apply the idea with frequent applications throughout the day. So 2 longer practice periods with the idea for today are needed. 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And this is kind of going to be a lot of the way we're going to go from now. We're going to have these sustained practice periods in the morning and at night where we spend a little time on them. And then we're going to frequently throughout the day remind ourselves of the idea for today and apply it to whatever is happening in our lives. So we have the 2 longer practice periods, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. 3 to 5 minutes for each of these are recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both the inner world and the outer world together, for the inner is the cause of the outer. So what we're going to do is we're going to look around us in the morning, in the evening, at our outer world, and we're going to apply the idea, I am not a victim of the world I see, to what we actually see with our eyes. And then we're going to close our eyes, and whatever we see in our mind, we're going to apply the same idea to. I am not a victim of the world I see. Whatever comes to your mind that you feel a victim of, thoughts, images, we're going to apply this idea to them. I'm not a victim. And I'll tell you, I felt like a victim so much in my life, and still sometimes. you can feel like a victim. I know when I was thinking about this idea, of course, the first thing that comes to my mind is sickness or disease, because we're kind of going through a pandemic right now. So that whole idea that I'm a victim to this pandemic, but I'm not. I am not a victim of the world I see outside or the world that I see in my mind, the thoughts and ideas. As you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. In other words, I feel more of a victim to this thing than that thing, or this is stronger and that's weaker, because it's all the same. If you feel a victim, you feel a victim, whether it's a little bit or a lot. But we're going for the whole idea that there's no degrees of victimhood. We either feel like a victim or we're totally free. And we're going for the totally free. I am not a victim of the world I see. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on anyone in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly, without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom. And in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. This is another idea that we'll see in the Course, that it's in our freedom that the world is free. A lot of times we have this idea upside down that we have to go out there and change the world somehow and make it free or make it better. But the Course says we got it kind of upside down, that really, since we're the cause of the world we see, when we're trying to go out and change things in the world we see, we're just dealing with effects. We're not dealing with the source. But in this Course, in this mind training course, the Course in Miracles, it gets to the very thing that can change the outside world, because the outside world is just an effect. And the cause, the source, is in our own mind. So we're going to change things at their source, and the effect will automatically change. Change your mind, change your world. Do not dwell on any one thought in particular, but try to let the stream move on freely, evenly, and calmly, without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence. So this is our declaration of independence today. Independent of the whole victim mentality. And in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is also a particularly useful one to use as a response to any form of temptation that may arise. And it's the temptation to feel like a victim, or to feel like something in the world outside yourself is controlling you rather than you're controlling it. That's the temptation, to feel this victimhood. So when it comes, we can use this phrase, I'm not a victim of the world I see. It's a declaration that you will not yield to the temptation and put yourself in bondage. So this is going to be one of those ideas that is radically life-changing if you felt, like you're not in control. If you're in a situation where you feel totally out of control and totally oppressed by that situation. This is going to be your declaration of freedom. And what a wonderful, wonderful, powerful new life and experience. This whole idea, once it takes hold in our minds, is going to be the introduction of your declaration of release. I am not a victim of the world I see. And you're not. So aloha. I love you. I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Bless you.